Hi, I've missed you. Today's video is about power and how to feel powerful again. Quick story. Last week, Tuesday, I was feeling super shitty, just irritable, doubtful of myself. There's lots of emotional stuff going on in my life, and I just felt like I couldn't hack it. And it was just like a shitty day, a shitty day. All I wanted to do was eat cookies, anything sweet. And I had like 3 calls that day. So I was like, ooh, how do I get into the momentum of doing these calls? And I usually like light a candle, do a little ritual, like talk to God for a couple minutes. I didn't do any of that. I just like was feeling all this way, and I hopped on these calls. And the best thing happened. People, you need to stop texting me. Which is that I was feeling so shitty, and then I got on one particular call with a woman, and she was feeling the same way. She was feeling really shitty. She was, she shared it in such a real way. I mean, she was very real. She just got on the phone and she's like, listen, before we get into anything, I just need to let you know where I'm at, and this is happening with my guy, and I just feel fucked up. Sorry. And we just connected within 5 minutes. We were both able to share, and in a real way, and it was so helpful. And she was feeling shitty and I was feeling shitty, and we were real about it. But more than that, we talked for like 45 minutes, and the biggest things, like within 10 minutes of our talking, we were doing dances. We were like, I remember she said something and I screamed. I was in my apartment and I screamed, yes! And like, I screamed it. I had so much energy. And and it's crazy how fast things can shift. I should look here. It's crazy how fast things can shift when you like actually are real about it and you make it a priority to connect. Okay, I'm getting all over the place. What's my point? My point is, we were feeling so good within 10 minutes that it was actually shocking to me. Like, I came into our call like feeling this certain way, feeling so negative, and literally within 10 minutes, we were both feeling different. And we got huge insight from it. Like, we were able to really help each other. And I'll break down exactly what worked in this, but I felt so seen. I felt heard. I felt acknowledged. And then she felt heard and seen and acknowledged, and we were able to help each other, like support each other on some business stuff and creative stuff. And I just, by the end of this call, I wanted to marry her, literally. I was like, come to New York. Like, it's so ridiculous. I just felt so happy and so light and so energized after our call that I instantly wrote down all of these things. So, for you, if you are having like total shit day, feeling, or shit week or month, I mean, truth be told, I've had a really shitty year. More on that in another post. But it's just been emotionally hard. And when I am going through emotional stuff, you better believe it needs to be figured out in order for me to work. Who I am, my work in the world, I cannot just attack my work when there's emotional stuff going on. It needs to be managed and it needs to be dealt with. And in fact, that's going to be a large part of my work moving forward, is how to do that. But for this particular video, if you're feeling however you're feeling, whether it's super doubtful and heavy about yourself, heavy about emotional things going on in your life, fear, here's what I took from this. And y'all know I need my notes because my memory is like, that means it's going to the dogs. Okay, so the first thing is be real. Okay, get real. Dancing around it is not going to work. Dancing around anything just adds to the walls that you begin to build between people and in yourself. The farther away you get from the reality of what's going on by like being professional or being logical or just getting over it already or just attacking it that's such bullshit. Oh, I got to really remember that. It's just BS, okay? You need to address it and get real. Get in connection. Number 2, get in connection with the right people. So I'm not necessarily talking to my mom or my dad or like friends who don't really get that emotional stuff needs to be worked on, because I do have friends like that who just don't talk about things or they don't explore this emotional side of things. That's not who I needed to talk to. I needed to talk to someone who was ready to talk about codependency, emotional issues, having a heavy heart, feeling doubt, and that's who I needed. So notice I didn't say talk to anybody. You got to talk to the right person. Take note, baby cakes. Number 3, change your energy. Without thinking that shifting your energy, like if you don't think that that's a thing you need to do, like get out of town, knack off. No, I just mean it's a real deal thing. You have to change your energy in order to then change your actions and change your decision making. Einstein said you cannot solve problems in the same consciousness as they were created. Feeling doubt, fear, heaviness, turmoil, whatever, you can't just write a blog post from that space. I mean, maybe you can. I know there's a lot of artists who like thrive on drama, but I guess take it with a grain of salt, whatever works for you. But I'm telling you, I am not the kind of person, and I know lots of other people who do not just thrive on like the turmoil and can create from that space. If you can, more power to you. If you can't, you're in a large group of people who feel the same way, okay? Number 4, I realize I need to be coaching, training, teaching people every day, every week, at least. It fills me up and reminds me who I am. The name of this post is Remember Who You Are. I don't think I've said that once at all, this whole video. Okay, but remember who you are. This is who I am. I am someone who thrives on connection. I am someone who thrives on helping someone else. It makes me feel good. And guess what? I am intuitive and I can see things and I can make connections. I mean, what did we find out on this, in this particular call? We got huge insights. And I was actually able to like eke some of this out, was that she was depending on this one person for finances when she actually could have a whole different marketing plan for this book that she's launching and didn't need to like have this cord to this other person who said she would finance it. Like she could do something different. And so we figured out some like marketing or a different plan for that. And so, okay. And then the next thing, it's been a while, guys, please work with me. I realized who I am for people and what I can do for them. Guess what? In order to feel confident in yourself in this world, you have to know who you are and what you're good at. This reminded me who I am and what I was great at. And that's a strength. And don't feel shy or afraid of that, or like you don't want to scream that from the rooftops. Do it. Remember who you really are. You are not your irritation. You are not your codependency. You are not your anger. You are not your heartbreak. Oh, God, it makes me like emotional just thinking about all this. Because at one point in time, like when you go through things, you get broken down. I felt really broken down the last couple years with the emotional stuff that I went through with my parents, with like myself. It did affect my work. And like, I did feel powerless. I did feel like a victim a lot of times. I did feel helpless. And that shit sucks. That feeling sucks. And so remembering who you are is the name of the game. That sounds so ridiculous, but that is the key to being able to get the energy back for your work, being able to serve in the way that you want to serve, being able to feel on purpose and intentional again. You're not even your pain. These are my notes. As Biggie and as Tupac as that sounds, as big and heavy and searing as it may be. You are energy, you are power, you are joy, you are light, and you are water. Like 60% of our body is made up of water. And I just realized our brain, I was doing some research for this post, our brains and our hearts are 73% water. Is that not insane to you? That was insane to me. Over water, and water can't feel pain for very long, or it can, but then ultimately it's just water. So I got a lot from that. I took a lot from that. That statistic. All right, those are really the insights. Is remembering who you are is the key to getting out of stuck energy, bad energy, fearful energy, like whatever you might be feeling right now. The key is remembering who you are. So however you do that for yourself, do that stat. ASAP, now, all of those urgent words, do that. I got so much from that call. I was like Michael Jackson walking on air, like moonwalking out of that call. It was crazy to me. I say the word like so much. Anyway, so that is today's post. Thank you for watching. If you like it, subscribe. I forgot now, somewhere below, and share it. Like, the whole point of this is disseminating things that work. Things that you find useful and helpful, share it with your family and your friends and someone who's going through this. Be the person who, even though you're carrying a lot, it even helps you to share what works for you, okay? It does lighten your load. So do it. Don't just be this isolating person. And thanks for watching. See you soon.